Hey everybody, sorry about the noise. It's a little crowded here at the lake today. I'm at Woods Canyon Lake off the Mogollon Rim near Payson, Arizona. Today we're going to do a little catch and cook action with some crawfish and some trout. I've already got a trap set for the crawfish. I'm going to go and try to catch some trout. And then once we get all that squared away, we're going to take it back to camp and we're going to cook it. So sit tight while we catch some fish. So far no trout, so I'm gonna go ahead and check that crawfish trap and see if I had any luck there. Fingers crossed. Buddy. Good grief. Yeah, I found the big boys. Holy shit. Yeah, y'all do just fine. It's like y'all ate everything. There's 6 really good sized crawfish in there. Good golly. Pretty sure one of those is a baby lobster. Well, looks like I gotta catch a little sunfish or something and cut it and stick it in there. Because, yeah, those guys are huge, but I can do better than that. Well, couldn't catch any fish. Apparently I suck, but there's dinner. When we get back to camp, I will show you how to clean these guys out. And then I think I'm gonna do like a boil and fry type deal. So let's get these guys back to camp. We're gonna have some food. So at this point in the video, I have to go ahead and cut out the audio and then basically do a voiceover for the whole thing. If you can't tell by the look on my face, it's very loud over there at the campsite where I was actually doing the cooking at. And I really can't use any of the audio, it's garbage. So I apologize ahead of time. I know this is probably gonna be really, really hard to watch, but I thank you for sticking around, and there's a fire. Fire. So the first step is we're gonna get these guys to go ahead and throw up everything they have inside of their stomach. It's a good way to get rid of the nasty lake taste that typically comes from things you catch. To do this, we're gonna fill a bucket fresh water. We're gonna go ahead and dump a good amount of salt into that water, enough to cause the reaction to get them to throw up. You repeat this process a few times, getting fresh water each time. That way it ensures that they're actually getting the stuff out, and that new water and new salt is being added and causing the reaction all over again. You want to repeat this process a handful of times over the course of about an hour or so. But for the sake of the video and saving daylight, I just kind of went and sped through this process, more so as a reference, just kind of an example, if you will. And don't be stingy with the salt. It actually takes a good amount for them to get that reaction. So right now I have water on to boil, just good old water, but in another effort to get that nasty lake flavor out of the crawfish, seeing as how I had to speed through the purging process. I just added a good amount of Creole seasoning to it, to where the water was a deep red color, and that did the trick. So now I'll go through this bucket here and kind of pick and choose which ones I'll put in there, starting with the smaller ones, and then I'll gradually work my way to the bigger ones. I have to cook them in 3 shifts because that pot's really small, but it did the job. And the good thing is that once you've cooked them all and removed the tails and gotten all the meat out of them, once you return them to the pot to fry, they all fit in there. And there's even room for me to get a couple extra little things that I brought with me. I'm going to dump a little water out to make room. So let's dig in here. The second one had it out for me. As soon as he touched the water, he kicked that little tail up. He burnt me pretty good. Got room for one more. So let's go ahead and fast forward through this little boring bit. I'll go ahead and pull some crawfish out, and I'll start getting other ones in there. Now, I'm no professional crawfish cook, but as far as my experience goes, when they're red, they're dead. So it's a good time to take them out. And the next batch, that's a good size one. In fact, I think I actually get some claw meat out of that guy. So I boiled up those other 3. Now I'm going to stick the last 2 in here. Then we'll get to cleaning these guys out. You can tell I started without you, but I'll give you some good examples here. So basically all you do is you grab the tail and you grab the upper part of the body and you just rip it apart right there at the knuckle. just in case you're wondering, that bucket's empty now. I'm not throwing scraps of the dead inside with their living crawfish brethren. So right now I'm just kind of digging through this claw to double check and make sure it's done, and then to get myself a little sample of the flavor. And at this point, I haven't added any more seasoning, I haven't fried it or anything. But if you can tell by the look of approval on my face, it actually already tasted really good. I didn't taste any of the lake flavor. Oh yeah. So when removing the tail, I usually just grab the little tail plates right there at the end and pull. If you do that just right, you can actually pull out their intestine through the back with them. It's that black line that you see going down the back of like shrimp and stuff. Like I said, that's actually their intestine. And funny thing is, fun fact for all my metal fans out there, it's actually called the mud vein. And as you can tell, if you look close, these guys all still have that nasty yellow gunk inside of them. Now, if you go through the whole purging process and you do it well enough, you won't have to deal with nearly as much of that. So the last two are done boiling. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and dump this water out. Just off screen, there's a fire pit, so I'm not just dumping it anywhere. And then I will get the burner ready for the oil so we can fry them up. And right now I'm using vegetable oil. You can use whatever you choose. Vegetable oil is easy. It's the go-to. So here I'm just kind of running them through some water, rinsing out all of that residual gook. And this one I wasn't able to get the vein out in one shot. So if you just slice gently down their back through like that first little layer of skin, you just pull it right out. So when I'm out camping, eggs don't really keep out when you're camping. I mean, unless you've got like a cooler and stuff. But for a lot of us people who pack light, we really don't carry around a cooler, so eggs are kind of out of the question. So rather than using eggs, Frank's Red Hot actually works really, really good as a wet base for flouring stuff. You get that extra little kick of flavor, and it also sticks to the meat really well. So now we're just going to give these guys a good shake until they're all coated with the hot sauce. Shake, 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 shake. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. There you go. So now for the breading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a healthy amount of Creole seasoning and then just like 5 times as much flour. That way it gets it a nice breading, but it also gives it that little extra bit of flavor. And I liked it. And then just good old-fashioned regular all-purpose flour. And then a nice little tip, if you're mixing something up in a bag, it's good to get a little bit of air in there, create that little bubble. And that allows everything to mix up evenly. Right now I'm trying to avoid knocking that burner full of hot grease over. And if I was paying closer attention, I'd have turned the heat down, because it's not supposed to smoke like that. Pan's getting smokier. See, at this point I should be turning around and paying attention, but I'm not. Yeah. So anybody who's familiar with a kitchen knows that a pan of oil isn't supposed to be smoking like that. And it's definitely not supposed to burst into flames. So let's turn that down, even though it's too late to stop what's happening. So there's some extra little bits that I threw in there, some stuff I brought with me. Get some more air in that bag. Yeah, probably should have done that like a minute and a half ago. Yeah, lid's too small, Steve. There you ready? Are you ready? Idiot. Yeah, that's me. So I got the fire taken care of, got the whole thing extinguished. Basically moved the oil, new oil, into that pot that I was using to boil earlier, and we'll keep this thing going from here. So at this point, the oil's already been on for a couple minutes, so it's already good and hot. So let's go ahead and throw these bad boys in here. Then fast forward, and they're done. So I'm gonna start digging these guys out. I was pleasantly surprised with how they turned out after that little bit of excitement we endured a minute ago. Go ahead and dig all of these little guys out. Just a heads up, I'm brand new at this video editing stuff, so the fact that I make you sit here and watch me dig each and every one of these things out of the pot, it's my bad. I'm sorry. But man, don't they look good. So just about dug all these out. I think there's a couple left. Yeah, see? I should have cut some of this down. So now that we've got all these guys cooked, take a look at that golden deliciousness. Go ahead and snatch one of these up, put it in my face. Nom 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 nom. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Yeah, that's good, ain't it? Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you stuck around this long, congratulations, you're among the strongest of them all. I will eventually come back and rehash this idea in a more desirable format. But again, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, come outside. I'll be here.